Hello, and thank you for coming to our poster titled The Perceptual Orientation and Legitimacy of Interpersonal Cues to Endangerment, or simply stated, the police model. Interpersonal violence is defined by the intention of one person to cause harm to an involuntary second person and instigates severe and pervasive problems in security and public health, with Wales alone paying over £200 million per year for health costs related to aggression. It's estimated that up to 80% of knife crime are avoidable and a result of overreacting to interpersonal threat cues. And identification of these cues is particularly important for groups such as the police, who experience higher and increasing risk of exposure to violence. Over the last year alone, almost 40,000 assaults on police officers were made, an increase of 21% on the previous year. In the current study, the police model was developed in order to test how individuals evaluated visual cues and the perceptions of threat in naturalistic scenes. 56 10-second videos were shown to two different sets of participants. The videos were categorized by violent or non-violent conclusions, and the act of aggression determining if the video was violent was always hidden from the participant. Participants set 1 answered 2 questions, threat detection and threat perception. First, participants answered, will the video end in violence, yes or no? And second, they answered, how likely is violence to occur, 0 to 100, where 100 is violence is certain. Participant 2, set 2, on the other hand, were presented with the same videos and provided with a list of 18 visual cues that have previously been established within the literature. They were asked whether these cues were present or absent, and if they were present, how severe each cue was on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most severe. As shown in figure 1, the validity of the police model is extremely high, with the level of threat perception and level of cue presence correlating with a value of 0.89 and a p-value of less than 0.001. Cronbach's alpha also demonstrated excellent internal consistency with a value of 0.93. Figure 2 illustrates that not all cues were as efficient in predicting threat, however. For example, invasion of personal space was the most potent predictor with an R of 0.9 and p-value of less than 0.001. In contrast, blinking rapidly, staring away, face flushed, and hands in pockets failed to provide a relation with threat. Figure 3 depicts the cluster analysis, which developed into several distinct categories: head and face, hand movements in relation to the body, cues relating to forming a fighting stance, angry head gestures, and personal space. Individual differences indicated threat perception decreased with age, which differs from the police, whom with increased experience and therefore increased age demonstrate increased threat detection. Overall, the police model demonstrates high reliability and validity in examining threat detection, perception, and cue predictive power in the general population. Further research should explore specialized populations such as the police and predictions with engagement in real-world threats. Thank you again for coming.